Have you ever wondered what the future holds? For centuries, people have been fascinated by the idea of the end of the world. Movies, books, and ancient myths all paint dramatic pictures of our final days. But what if the most detailed roadmap for the end times was written thousands of years ago? The Bible offers a unique and profound perspective, not just about an end, but about a new beginning. It's filled with prophecies, signs that are meant to alert us to the season of change. Today, we're diving deep into these biblical prophecies to understand what they say about the world we live in and the future that awaits us. It's a journey that might just change the way you see everything around you. Let's start with a passage from the Gospel of Matthew, chapter 24. When his disciples asked him about the sign of his coming and of the end of the age, Jesus gave them a series of signs. He said, "You will hear of wars and rumors of wars, but see to it that you are not alarmed. Such things must happen, but the end is still to come. Nation will rise against nation, and kingdom against kingdom. There will be famines and earthquakes in various places. All these are the beginning of sorrows." Think about our world today. We turn on the news, and what do we see? Conflicts erupting across the globe. Tensions between nations are constantly simmering. We hear not just of active wars, but of the constant threat, the rumors of wars, that keep us on edge. And it's not just human conflict. The earth itself seems to be groaning. We see reports of unprecedented earthquakes shaking entire regions and famines driven by drought or disaster, leaving millions hungry. Jesus called these events the beginning of sorrows, like the first pains of childbirth. They are signs that something new is about to be born, undeniable indicators that we are living in a significant time. They aren't meant to scare us, but to wake us up. But the prophecies don't just point to external events, they also describe a profound shift in human hearts and society. The Apostle Paul, in his second letter to Timothy, gives a chillingly accurate description of the character of people in the last days. He writes, "But mark this, there will be terrible times in the last days. People will be lovers of themselves, lovers of money, boastful, proud, abusive, slanderous, without self-control, brutal, not lovers of the good, treacherous, rash, conceited, lovers of pleasure rather than lovers of God." Take a moment and look around. Does this sound familiar? Our culture often celebrates self-love to the point of selfishness. The pursuit of wealth and fame is glorified. We see a breakdown of respect, families struggling with discord, and a society that often seems to prioritize momentary pleasure over lasting goodness. Social media can become a platform for pride and slander. The lack of self-control is evident in our consumer habits and lifestyles. Paul's words, written nearly 2,000 years ago, read like a current-day social commentary. This moral turning inward away from God and others is a critical sign of the times. It's a spiritual condition that sets the stage for everything else. Alongside this moral decline, the Bible warns of a massive wave of spiritual deception. Jesus himself said in Matthew 24, "Watch out that no one deceives you, for many will come in my name, claiming I am the Messiah, and will deceive many." He continues, "False messiahs and false prophets will appear and perform great signs and wonders to deceive, if possible, even the elect." This isn't just about a few strange cults. It points to a widespread confusion in the spiritual realm. In an age of information overload, where anyone can broadcast their ideas to millions, it's easier than ever for false teachings to spread. We see new spiritualities emerging that mix and match beliefs, creating a custom-made faith that feels good but lacks a solid foundation. The warning is clear: be discerning. The ultimate test of any teaching is whether it aligns with the truth of the Scriptures and points people to the real Jesus, not a counterfeit. This rise in deception is a sign that we must be more anchored in truth than ever before. Now let's turn to one of the most specific and significant prophecies, the restoration of Israel. For nearly 2,000 years after the destruction of the temple in 70 AD, the Jewish people were scattered across the globe, without a homeland. Many believed the nation of Israel was gone forever, yet the Bible prophesied its return. Prophets like Ezekiel and Isaiah spoke of God gathering his people from the ends of the earth and bringing them back to their own land. Ezekiel 37 describes it as a valley of dry bones coming back to life, an impossible event. And then, in 1948, the impossible happened. The nation of Israel was reborn. This single event sent shockwaves through the world and through the community of Bible scholars. For many, this was the super sign of the end times, the prophetic clock starting to tick loudly. Jesus used the parable of the fig tree, often seen as a symbol for Israel, saying, "When its branch becomes tender and puts forth leaves, you know that summer is near." The reblooming of the fig tree, the rebirth of Israel, is a powerful sign that the season is changing. With all these signs converging, there is one final, crucial prophecy that must be fulfilled before the end. Jesus declared in Matthew 24:14, "And this gospel of the kingdom will be preached in the whole world as a testimony to all nations, and then the end will come." Think about the world when Jesus spoke these words. It was a tiny corner of the Roman Empire. The idea of his message reaching every single nation, tribe, and tongue would have seemed utterly impossible. But look at our world now. Through technology, missionaries, and global networks, the message of the gospel has penetrated virtually every corner of the planet. There are still unreached people groups, but the pace of translation and outreach is accelerating like never before. The invention of the printing press was a leap, radio another, and now the internet has put the Bible and Christian resources in the pockets of billions. This global proclamation is the final piece of the puzzle. It's a message of hope being offered to all of humanity before the final curtain falls. So what do we do with all this information? If these signs are indeed pointing to the end of the age, should we be afraid? The Bible's answer is a resounding no. These prophecies were not given to terrify us, but to prepare us. They are a call to wake up, to examine our lives, and to put our hope in something that lasts. The end of this world as we know it is not a cosmic accident. It's the beginning of something beautiful and eternal. God's kingdom in its fullness. It's the promise of a new heaven and a new earth where there will be no more sorrow, no more pain, and no more death. It is the ultimate story of restoration. So the question isn't just, are the signs here? The real question is, are you ready? Ready not for an end, but for a glorious new beginning. Thank you for joining me on this journey through biblical prophecy. If this has sparked your interest, I encourage you to open a Bible and read these passages for yourself. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more content that explores these profound truths. See you next time.